I've never been
Within the
called
past.
the guy with soft hands, huh? The big with soft hands. I never knew what that meant. You know, like soft hands. Interesting. Here we go. How y'all doing?
Ryan, you want to start us off?
Juwan, do you have an update on Isaiah, his progression from the injury, and do you expect him back this weekend?
Well, Isaiah is basically day to day. We're not quite sure when he'll be back. He's just getting improving day by day, which is great. And I'm loving the signs of how his health is improving.
Okay. And then on Cassius Winston, what's the challenge of stopping him in half-court offense, especially on ball screens?
You know what? I need to be asking you that answer. Give me an answer of how we can stop Cassius Winston, because he's a very elite player, smart point guard, does amazing things with the basketball, very good in ball screens or reading actions. He has a great patience, great pace to his game. Can shoot the ball very well from outside. I was totally shocked, to be honest with you, that he decided to come back for a senior year, because last year he played extremely well. And yes, I wasn't in college basketball, but I had a chance to watch him a lot, especially the 3 games that they played against Michigan last season. And I just thought the kid played phenomenal. And he's still doing the same thing this year.
Ethan?
Juwan, what have you seen from Dave and Eli in terms of initiating the offense, handling the ball, pick and roll, things like that?
Well, they're improving game by game. It's nice to have 3 combo guards that I can go to. It's nice to play all 3 of them at the same time, which I've shown and done that before. Eli, I nicknamed him the Professor because he's, a very elite player, knows the offense in and out, a basketball mind, asks great questions, always thinking ahead, can shoot the basketball very well, just a player. David, one of the toughest they get. He's like a clone of Xavier Simpson. They both are very, competitive guys, tough-minded guys. David has that natural scorer's ability to shoot from the outside, growing day by day with coming off ball screens and making reads off ball screens. But it's his sophomore year, really it's like his first year playing consistently. I just see a lot of growth in David.
James?
Juwan, when you think of the Michigan State rivalry, I guess what comes to mind?
I would say that they're 2 schools that are neighboring each other. Yes, one of them maybe dislike the other more than it's been documented, but it's a big time rivalry. It's a very competitive rivalry, but there's a lot of respect from both sides. I'm sure neither one of them want to admit it, but it is, and it's a very competitive rivalry.
And a lot of Big Ten coaches talk about how tough it is to win at Breslin Center. I guess what are
Excuse me?
A lot of coaches talk about how tough it is to win at Breslin Center. What are your memories from playing there?
Yeah, it was tough to win as a player in Breslin Center. I recall playing against guys like Mike Peplowski, DJ Stevens, who's on the coaching staff. Sean Respert was one of the best combo guards in Big Ten, one of the best players in the Big Ten Conference. We call Matt Stenigina, maybe pronounced his last name the wrong way, but very athletic, skilled wing that can shoot. I remember the great Judd Heacoat, one of the best coaches in college basketball. And I remember the time when Coach was his assistant, and who else was his assistant? There was another big-time guy who became a head coach.
Tom Crean.
Tom Crean, there you go. Tom Crean. So they have a lot of basketball minds that have gone through that program, either a player or a coach, and some guys that have been very successful in the Big Ten when they were competing and coaching in the Big Ten. And just look at them now today. They're doing some great things, whether it's they're working at the collegiate level, the pro level. Not many people know this, but I'll say it now, is that Sean Respert and I are very good friends. So we have a great relationship. hung out together. He's worked my basketball camp in Chicago for many years, but a guy that I could see at some point being the head coach in the NBA.
Brendan?
You said day-to-day for Isaiah. Do you expect him to play on Sunday?
I'm not quite sure. Praying. Mr. Miyagi said it again, baby.
Also, when you went back and watched the tape of last year's 3 losses, what particularly jumped out to you about how Cassius handled the defense that was put in front of him on those ball screens?
You could tell he was prepared, with some of the reads that and plays that he was able to make off of the ball screens. He did a really good job of taking care of the basketball, making plays for others as well as himself. His patience never felt like he was sped up in any kind of way. There were some possessions in the game where it was in our favor, and things in the first 2 games looked like it was headed towards a victory for us, but some type of way Cassius found a way, and that's what happens when you have guys that figure it out, competitive, and have that competitive drive and juice. A lot of us in the basketball world say that it factor, it factor. So he's one of those guys that has that it factor.
Jeff?
I know you asked about Cassius. What jumps out when you look at Michigan State on film right now?
I would say their transition, and being that we're going to be playing them there in East Lansing, they get out on makes and misses, and they look for a pitch ahead, layups, dunks, or earlier attacks by their ball handlers. So, and then last but not least, I would say how well they hit the offensive glass. They're sending like 4 to the offensive glass. So we really have to do a good job of boxing out, limiting them second chance points.
Andrew?
Juwan, as far as rivalry games like this one, I guess, where do you stand as far as, do you feel this game is more important than any other Big Ten game you play, or?
You already know my answer. You know it. UMass Lowell is a very important game. I don't look at Michigan State as the most important game of the season. They all are the most important game of the season. And so that's the best I can give you.
Sure. And then with Isaiah, I know you said last time we spoke, he was rehabbing and resting. Is he practicing now, or where is he at?
Well, he's at practice, and he's very active in practice, being the leader and being that vocal guy that's doing whatever he can to help the team prepare and win.
Jennifer?
Hey, Juwan, you had a lot of success when you were a player against Michigan State, but how do you think it kind of sticks with your team, knowing that they lost 3 times last season in one season to their rival?
You know what's going to help us on Sunday? I have 1 year left of eligibility. And the number 25 jersey is coming out of retirement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress up for that game, and I'm going to help our guys win this game. So I am filing with the NCAA asking for my 1 year eligibility. You hear that?
I didn't mean to make it about you, because I know you love those questions, but just as a guy who played in this rivalry, what do you think how much does it stick with them? Does it give you a little chip when you lose to your rival 3 times in one season?
Well, that's a question that you can ask the players when they come, because I really don't know how they felt. I can believe this, that they didn't feel too good, and it definitely hurts, and it's like a thorn in your side. So as a guy who's a Michigan man and loved Michigan the way I do, just seeing that where we lost 3 times, it was painful to watch. I recall when I was working for Miami Heat as an assistant coach, and the 3rd time we played them, I was sitting in the weight room working out as we preparing for one of our games, and our strength coach is a Michigan State grad, and we always had a friendly bet. And every year, whether it's football or basketball, and this year, he owes me a steak dinner for football. Now, we play them twice in basketball. So, yes, we'll see what happens on Sunday. And I know I'm going to get a call from him or vice versa. But hopefully, it's in my favor this time, But, there were one year like last year, I owed him 3 steak dinners. And I got out of town right in time. I got out of town right in time. I'm out, gone.
Ethan?
Sorry, just to clarify on Isaiah, is he actively participating in practice or active as a voice?
Hey, like I said earlier, he's actively there, practice, helping us and do whatever he can to help his teammates and coaches prepare for this game.
And then just, I guess the other side of what Brendan asked, what stood out to you watching last year on how Xavier handled their defense?
Xavier Simpson?
Yeah.
Oh, Xavier, man. I got Tom Brady on my side, man. I feel very confident as far as who we have in that locker room and my leader being that guy who I can trust and believe in that's going to help lead us. He's faced them many times, and, he treats every opponent the same and respect every opponent. But his preparation is like no other.
Noah?
You talked a little bit about their coaching staff earlier. I'm just curious if you've gotten to know Tom Izzo at all through the years, or sort of what your relationship with him has been like since you took over here.
Very limited because, I've been on the professional level, coach, and working in college for like, over 30 years, almost, and been very successful doing it. I made sure where we had the Big Ten Coaches Media Day that I went out to him and found him so I could share with him that I did a poor job of contacting him and, just welcoming myself to the Big Ten and to this area. Because, look, I don't fear anyone, and I've always said that, but I do respect people. And Coach Tom Izzo has done a lot of great things for college basketball, whether it's, help developing young talent, getting to where they want to be as men, building their skill set, or giving jobs to some of his ex-players, doing a lot of great stuff in the community. I've heard some of that, and I've always admired and respected the way how he's conducted himself on the collegiate level. And it shows that he's passionate. He loves the game of basketball. He loves serving. And so I sit back and I watch each and every coach and how they operate and run their program. And to his credit, he's done a good job.
Josh?
You posted.
But I want the media to know this too now. Everyone in Ann Arbor know this, that, because, I give these nice compliments to people, I mean, I'm scared. I just respect and I appreciate what those who have done before me. And you got to give respect to those who have done before you. You got to humble yourself every now and then, eat a little humble pie. I've done that. But I'm not scared of anyone.
You posted a note on Twitter, but I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on the passing of David Stern and why he meant so much to your generation of NBA players.
Well, it was very devastating to hear that news because, I was like what some of the other guys have already put out there, whether on their social media page or to the media, about Dave, and I call him Dave, but every now and then I call him the Godfather, but David Stern was a great commissioner. He's done so much for the NBA basketball. It was always my dream to someday get drafted in the NBA and walk on that podium and shake his hand. Like, that is a monumental moment, shaking David Stern's hand and then standing there next to him and taking a photo. And then my second goal was to be a champion and have David Stern hand me a ring, my championship ring, and tell me congratulations. And I'm like, wow, like, that brown, orange basketball has opened up so many doors for a young kid from the south side of Chicago, who many thought that would never, ever leave that south side neighborhood and have an opportunity to play basketball for whatever reason they thought. They just didn't know me that well, but that was my passion. So my achievements was I'm striving hard to meet David Stern. And then to get to know him and sit across from him at the table where I was one of the vice presidents of the executive committee for Players Association. And now I'm sitting across the table and we're negotiating the CBA. And I'm not a lawyer, right? But I'm fighting for what I feel was right for the players, for the body. And he's fighting for the guys we work for, the owners. But I respected his position, and I learned a lot from him on his passion for the game and what his vision was as far as where he was trying to take the game of basketball and levels where for all the other young guys who are striving to play in the NBA, how it's going to benefit the world, not just people here in the U.S., but the world are going out to China, Spain, Italy, growing the game in so many ways. I'm just naming a few countries. Like, I keep going. That was his vision. And the game has grown so much that now all these teams are billion-dollar franchises. Like, I recall a time when, who was it? The Golden State Warriors sold for $350-something million to Peter, who now the owner. There's two owners. But look at now the Golden State Warriors is worth over $3-something billion, almost $4 billion. Like, David Stern had his hands in that. You know, he was a forward thinker, had a growth mindset. So yeah, like when someone passed away, we have nothing but great things to say about that individual. But everything that's been said about him is true. So I really respect him. I thank him. Lord rest his soul in peace. And without him, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Okay, Coach, I think that's going to do it.